Welcome to another connection here on TKO8 Television. Dennis King, thanks for joining us today. We do appreciate it. Every Monday we have our connection show here at TKO8 Studios. We have different organizations and individuals come in to tell about their organizations and the services that they offer the people in our viewing area. And we do appreciate all the organizations. We have some really good services for those of you in the viewing audience that you can utilize. Most of the time it's all free, and that makes it nice. Stay with us. Be back in a moment. We're going to talk with two ladies about the Boone County Library and all the things that they do.
Spring has arrived in the Ozarks. This is Brent Carell inviting you to Carell Family Gardens and Gifts in Harrison. Whether you need an entirely new landscape or simply need a rose to brighten up a corner of your backyard, we have a large selection of trees and shrubs. We also have Harrison's largest selection of pottery, from terracotta clay pots to gorgeous glazed pots in every imaginable color, shape, and size. Perhaps you're looking for garden benches, outdoor pillows, fountains, lanterns, or maybe just the right gift for someone? We have an array of home decor and gift items. Maybe you need something for your young children or grandchildren? We carry a full inventory of fun items to create fairy gardens and yard art. Are you ready to garden? We carry all the spring vegetables and seeds you need to get your garden growing, along with compost and fertilizer. As the weather continues to warm, we'll have a dizzying display of blooming annuals, perennials, hanging baskets, ferns, roses, and hydrangeas. Carell Family Gardens and Gifts is your locally owned garden and home store located at the north end of Goblin Drive at Industrial Park Road.
Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Our first two guests in the studio today from the Boone County Library, Eileen Clark and Michelle Dees. Thank you both for coming in today.
Thank you.
Michelle, thanks for filling in there for Ginger Schonenberger. I think she just copped out on us. No, I'm just kidding. Well, we do appreciate the Boone County Library, and usually we have a representative about every month that comes in to talk to us about all the services that the Boone County Library, which we are real fortunate to have here in Harrison. A lot of communities bigger than ours do not have an active library like we have here, and we do appreciate the services that they offer too. Eileen, just want you to start off with a little bit about the summer programs, and then we'll kind of go back and forth here.
Okay, well, thanks again, Dennis, for having us on your program.
Quite welcome.
Each year we do a summer reading program that is for actually all ages, from 0 all the way up through the adults. And Michelle and I, we are in the children's department, so what we do is we have a program that's called, it's called On Your Mark, Get Set, Read, and that's the theme of the program. I'm stuck.
Well, I mean, so it's a program that people sign up and come in to do?
Thank you, yeah. Okay, so what they do is they come in, they register for the reading part of it.
Sure.
And that's to give incentive to the children to keep reading through the summer. And what we do is we have incentive prizes for them, and they keep a log, and they come in once a week, sign off on the log, and we have incentives for them. But during the whole program, it's a 7-week program, we do have activities for the whole family, which you don't have to register for. It is, again, it is your library. We have activities, no charge, but, go on our website, you can see the schedule, drop by, we can give them a printout, and it's going to be a good time. And Michelle is the one who has designed all the programs for the children's department. So
let me ask you a quick question. As far as the reading program that you do you see more interest in younger kids, or is the teenagers getting involved? Where do you see the heaviest involved?
Okay, the heaviest would be our middle-aged children, the middle school age children. Our toddler department is very good, so that's 0 to 3 years old.
Wow.
And we have a program every Thursday at 10 o'clock for the toddlers. And then we have your 4 and 5 years, they're not in school yet, so we have a story time for them. And then the after-school program is exactly what it is for the children who are in school, but then there's after-school programs. But our biggest outreach right now that we really want to touch is our youth, our teenagers. So it's called the young adult programs. And so that's really where we want to start seeing some more numbers come in. And so again, Michelle has put together some wonderful programs that are designed for our teenagers, that she can relate with the teenagers. She's incredible, you know, with that age group. So that's one of our biggest outreach. But now during the summer, again, you know, it's for 0 to teenager, and it's broken down by toddlers, kids, which we call just kids, and then the teenagers. So there's 3 categories for the summertime.
And it's a 6-week?
It's a 7-week program.
7-week program. Okay.
And at the end of those 7 weeks, if they've turned in 6 of their logs, then we give them an invite to a pool party at the end of summer. So,
so how do you keep? I know teenagers, particularly maybe middle school, not quite so much, but junior high and on, how do you keep their attention level? I mean, how do you keep them involved?
Fortunately for me, I have 7 years of experience as a high school English teacher. So kind of stepping into this position, I've got some experience under my belt that tells me, you know, what sort of things are going to draw them in. So one of the things that I've put together for this particular group is a whole lot of social media. And these are all kind of in their infancy, and they don't really have a lot on them yet, but I'm hoping that with the kids adding themselves to these particular programs, and, you know, me being active on them myself, trying to kind of build up their interest, that will draw more of them in and make that library feel like a place that is more like their everyday life.
So though you really, of course, social media is a big thing, particularly for young people. I mean, it's kind of what they've grown up with, social media part.
Yeah, definitely.
And the programs there obviously are all free of charge.
Yes.
Is that correct? Do you see that if the parents get involved, particularly with the younger ones, if the parents get involved, the kids kind of follow suit? If the parents aren't involved in reading and don't care anything about it, they're not. I don't mean persuasive, but they're not supportive of the program. Do you see that being if the kids, the parents come, particularly the younger ones, and get them involved and act like they're interested? Do you see that helping? How's young people today reacting?
It seems like the parents who bring their kids in the most often are the ones whose kids seem most excited to be there. Now there are some kids that we get in that they've never been there before, and they come in and they're just running around and so excited to do everything and see everything and meet us, and so that really helps us too. And I do think there's something to be said for a parent who, if they don't actually read a lot themselves, you know, just novels, even if they read a lot of magazines or read a lot of newspapers or are constantly putting something in front of the kids, I think that helps too in a big way for them to have that model, like, hey, this is something that I should be doing and this can be fun. So I definitely think the parents make a difference.
You know, with the advent of, well, you just had 2 pages there in your book of social media, with the advent of the internet and the computer systems, electronic books, what do you see in the library? How's it evolving? We still got hard copy books, and obviously that's your forte. Do you see it evolving more into the electronic books, people using the computers, or they still like a book in their hand?
I find with most kids, it's that book cover that draws them in to start with, and so with the ebooks, a lot of the time you lose that. So at least when I was teaching, what I found with a lot of my kids was that they preferred to be able to see their books and actually hold them in their hands. And while we do have Overdrive available with a lot of ebooks on it for those kids, especially who can't make it to the library on a regular basis, I still feel like, I don't know about you, but I still feel like mostly kids just enjoy having that book.
What do you mean by Overdrive? What is Overdrive? What's that?
So Overdrive is a free service that comes along with your library card, and it basically allows you to get on a website that allows you to download and borrow ebooks, audiobooks, magazines, things like that at no extra charge, and they can be downloaded onto your Kindle, your iPad, iPhones, anything else. Just read on the computer too, I believe.
You can download it to your computer.
So that's something that not a lot of our patrons, I think, necessarily know about or use. I know that's something that I've always used when I haven't had time to get down to the library and I needed something new, but it's a really nice service.
It's a nice service.
Is it something that they come in and they would sign up for? Is that a service? Or if you have a library card?
Library card.
Okay.
Yep, the link is on our website. It'll show as download library to go, I believe. and you click on that and it will just ask you to select your library, which for us would be the Boone County Library, and then to enter your library card, and then from there you're in.
Yeah.
Hey.
You can have 5 books out at a time and 5 books on hold at a time.
Wow. So.
And they return automatically.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that makes it nice and easy for people like me that forget to take the book back sometimes.
Yeah.
Anyway, what else is going on? We got about 4 or 5 minutes. What else in your programs for the summer? You got anything else? Let's talk about anything that you got.
Well, right now on Mondays, our family movies are up. So we have family movies are playing all day on Mondays. Today it's Big Hero 6. And then on Fridays, we have a teen movie playing at 1 o'clock, and there will be snacks included with that. And those will be different every week as well. I'm trying to keep it up to pretty new movies that have come out within the last year or so. Again, just because the kids are so good about catching things, whether it's through Netflix or Redbox or whatever it is, that I want to keep kind of on top of what's new. We also have some other programs going on. On Tuesdays at 2:30 is the main teen program, and that'll be just like for them to come and hang out. And this week it's an ice cream social and a project that we're making with their to-be-read lists. And then we'll have book club afterwards on Tuesdays at 4. And our book club book this month is I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. And those are available at the library to pick up. We've got lots of copies of it.
Yeah, so she has book clubs and...
The green little book that you both have, is that a program? Is that something that you print every month?
This was for summer reading program, and so this, when they picked up and signed up for the program, there was a different one for each group level or age level group. And so this was the teen booklet, and basically inside it, it's got just kind of a guide to everything that's going on during the summer. It's got our social media in the inside, obviously, but then we also have a spread in here with our schedule.
Okay.
So we've got our June schedule in here, and then we've also got a lot of activities, and I put in here just like things for them to do and contests and just some neat stuff that they can do when they're not at the library and they're not reading. They have other things that they can work on.
You know what's neat is for the teenagers, all the programs are later in the afternoon because teenagers like to sleep in. So that was really smart, Michelle. Good job on that. So for the younger kids and like family, on Tuesday and Wednesday at 10 o'clock is when we do the more family activities, and we have all these different guests coming in. So we have Buffalo National River starting it off. Then we have Ronald McDonald. We have a natural history museum coming with live animals. You know, so everything Tuesday and Wednesday at 10 o'clock for 7 weeks, starting this week. And then for toddlers, every Thursday at 10 o'clock.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean, it's
Lots
a
of
full
activity.
schedule.
Are you open on Saturdays?
Yes, we are.
Partial day or
9 to 5.
9 to 5. Well, full day.
Whole day.
Very good. Well, did we cover everything pretty good here? Did I miss anything? Other than you guys are always real busy. I know
We're
that.
really busy.
We are really busy.
This summer we are really busy, but we just want to invite the community to please come down and visit your library. I mean, this is your library, so you know, if you've never been there, please stop by and just come and say hi to us and find out, you know, what's going on.
You know, the thing about the Boone County Library, for those of you out there in the viewing audience, you've got a lot of books, obviously, and electronic books are available. But if let's say you want to do a resume and you don't have a computer at home, you can go to the library, sit down, free of charge, use their computer, put together a resume. You can look up anything from on the World Wide Web there, obviously, or through a book or whatever, and it's all free of charge. You can go down there. You need to join, get you a library card so that you can utilize it anytime you want. But all the services that are available, and it's located right downtown. It's easy to get to. You can walk if you live downtown area or whatever. But the Boone County Library, as I mentioned, a lot of communities that are much larger than Harrison does not have the opportunity to have a library like the Boone County. We appreciate both of you coming in today. Thank you, Eileen, for coming in. And welcome on board at the Boone County Library. Fairly new there.
Yes, she's great.
And so we appreciate both of you coming. Keep us posted. Give us a call anytime each month. You have a lot of different things coming up, and we want you out in the viewing audience to know what's going on at the library, and we appreciate you both coming in. Good to see you both.
Thank you so much.
Stay with us. Be back in a moment. We're going to have some individuals from Grandma's house here. They have a new staff member. We'll be back.
Sam Alexander Pharmacy has expanded and is now offering many additional products and services. Their new pharmaceutical compounding area allows them to create products to fit the unique needs of a customer. They also have added Spinco orthotic shoes and sandals, Dr. Comfort diabetic shoes, baby gifts by Aiden and Anais, and toys by Melissa and Doug. Stop in today and let them help you with any of your specialty pharmaceutical needs. Sam Alexander Pharmacy, your local Health Mart pharmacy in Harrison.
Crystal clear mountain streams, river rapids, and rolling hills with endless valleys. The beauty of the Ozarks we often take for granted. At Magnus Toyota, we never underestimate the value of our customers. As a third-generation family-owned business, Magnus Toyota has been operating here in the Ozarks for over 50 years. When we make a new deal, we make a new friend. Stop in and visit us today and see why our customers say we're the best. Magnus Toyota, your hometown Toyota dealer on Highway 65 North in Harrison.
Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Dennis King, thanks for joining us on the show today. Our next guest from Grandma's House. They've been in the studios numerous times since they started Grandma's House, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. But more importantly today, we're going to talk about a new member of the staff. And today, obviously, we got Cody Tatum with us and Laurel Gass and Isadora. Isadora is a beautiful golden Labrador Retriever and the newest member of the team. Is that right, guys?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about her.
Well, she is a facility dog from Canine Companions for Independence. They have several chapters. Ours is in Oceanside, California. So she's a very special animal, of course. Facility dog is what she was trained to be and what she is. So we got her from that Canine Companions. They're a nonprofit organization. So, gosh, I guess it's been about a year and a half ago, maybe a little more. We filled out some paperwork and application process and sent that in. And waited to hear back from them. We heard back probably around last August or September, and we needed to go in person for an interview over in California. So real bummer, having to make a trip out to California there. But we did that in October, and myself, Laurel, and Michelle Steiner, our executive director, all went out for that, and they did an extremely good job at that interview. And we expected a call, anywhere from a year to 2 years after that. Ended up getting the call in March that they had found an animal that they thought would fit perfectly with us. So that led us to Michelle and Laurel making that trip out in May for 2 weeks of intensive training, and they came home with Isadora.
Laura, why don't you? I've got some questions about it, but
sure.
Okay, so you went to California to train with Isadora. How do they get you to where you and the animal are like one?
Right. So we went for the 2-week training. At the very beginning of the training, they have what's called placement, and you work with just a couple different dogs, see kind of how your handling skills are, and they have an idea of what dog they want for you, just because they do a lot of training with them before. But we got paired with Isadora, and I knew the moment we handled her that she was going to be ours, because she is so sweet, always just wants to be loved and touched. But she's trained in 40 different commands, so the 2-week training is more of a people training, not dog. The 6 months before, she got all of her training on her commands, so we were just learning on what she had already learned and how to use those with her.
Okay. Wow. So, dogs these are specialty dogs, obviously. Dogs are used for a lot of different things. Drug enforcement, the military uses the dogs, and the blind. So these are, special dogs, and I'm sure they go through a lot of animals to get the right animal to fit. And in your particular case, you're talking about young people,
right.
Children.
And I think, touching on that, I think only about 30% of the animals that enter into that intensive 6 months training actually emerge able to be placed. So the best of the best is exactly what she is.
An animal, did she cost you anything? They got to be very expensive.
Yes, she is actually, all the Canine Companions for Independence dogs that graduate are worth about $50,000 with training, food, everything all combined. But it's free of charge to the people who graduate with the dogs. So
Wow.
We just have to pay for mostly our expenses of travel and just, you know, upkeep and food for whenever we get her.
Right, so periodically they'll have to go back out to California to just touch base with the organization and make sure that she's within her weight goals and she hasn't, you know, lost any of that training and everything like that. So we have
refresher course.
Exactly, yeah, a little, and again for Laurel, not more than for Isadora, but that, and of course then you know the daily cost of food and care and everything like that. And we want to really thank, we have a couple of community partners that have already gotten on board with us, and the Boone County Leadership Program kind of spearheaded us getting the funds to make this trip out to California. We also have the Affordable Veterinary Services have stepped in to provide her care as well, and we definitely appreciate that because it's, you know, being a nonprofit, that definitely helps us and lets us focus on our mission and everything. So
now, Laura, you take Isadora home with you when you leave the office or when you leave the grandma's house, and she stays with you, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, I noticed that you're expecting.
Yes.
Do you have any children yet of your own?
Yeah, I have a 2.5-year-old. And
so how does this work out?
He loves her. You know, labs, though, are known for their tails. When she wakes up in the morning, she goes about 90 miles an hour, happy. So he says, no tail, no lick. But other than that, he absolutely loves her. And she is so good with kids. The program itself, whenever she was born up to 1.5 years, she's with a puppy raiser. And our puppy raiser actually works with kids too. So since she was tiny, she's been working with kids with disabilities, with problems. So, you know, it's almost kind of like it was meant to be coming with us.
And
go ahead.
I was going to say her title is Child Comfort Specialist, and that is her role when she's at work. Of course, she's very well trained, and she, you know, when she's at work, she's working, and you know, that's it. I mean, that's her whole goal, is just to make the kids that we see more comfortable and their families as well, just to kind of ease that process.
So, for example, if a family comes in with a child or children, does she recognize the fact that those children are there? I mean, does she start working right away, or does she lay there until you give her command?
Right. So when kids come in, I mean, she loves kids anyway, so she gets very excited. But yeah, she loves to play with the kids, and you know, I'll have her in a control position, such as a sit or a down. That way, they can come over and kind of get introduced with her, and then we let her play with them. So.
Okay. Wow. How's the response? I'm sure it's been phenomenal, but how's the response been with the children that have come in since you've had Isadora?
It's been wonderful for sure. You know, the thing about it is people are coming to us, and it's not a fun situation. We try to make it as easy and as conducive to them as possible, but I think she offers something that we don't, and just a familiar, kind of loving thing that they can just kind of attach to, and you know, they're here for that purpose, and we're going to get through that part of it, but you know, just to let them be kids for a little bit.
Wow. Is this type of animal in other, I'm sure, across the country, is this something they've been utilizing for a long time in the same type of environment that you have at Grandma's house?
Absolutely. So they end up in hospitals working in the pediatric wings. They end up in therapeutic settings working with kids, speech pathologists. The list goes on. I mean, they're kind of in every realm that we can think of for that role. So it's definitely expanding. And we like to see her role expand over time as well. But you know, it's a newer type of realm as far as working in the social services with this type of animal. But it's budding, and it's very exciting for the future. We wanted to go ahead and get her, you know, the best of the best, so to speak, so that, you know, as we continue to grow, she can as well.
Wow. Well, it's quite a commitment, Laurel, from you to take it on yourself, to take the animal with you. I mean, is that something you wanted to do? I mean, did that fit into your lifestyle okay?
Well, I wasn't expecting when we applied, but yeah, it's which makes it kind of funny. But yeah, she is a great dog, and you know, I volunteered my home, you know, to her. But I also don't do this alone. Michelle Steiner, our executive director, is my co-handler, and she takes Isadora whenever I have a lot going on or I'm too busy. It's kind of, she calls herself the grandma of Isadora. She takes her every other week in kind of, you know, like custody or something. But yeah, and when I have the baby, of course, she's going to be taking her too. So we have a really good relationship with keeping her at both of our houses.
So really, you both obviously went to California and trained with Isadora, so she doesn't matter. Probably she could go with Cody or whoever, right? I mean, Cody's a nice guy too. You know?
Right. Yeah, I think Isadora would probably be okay with going anywhere. She is just that type of dog.
Wow.
So
that's amazing. That's amazing. Let's see, what else as far as the public? I mean, I know you're a nonprofit. If people want to make a donation for dog food, and obviously it's nice of Affordable Veterinarian Services to give you free veterinarian care for an animal, which is expensive. I mean,
It absolutely
shots and all the things. But if somebody wanted to help out, obviously they could give you a check, and because I'm sure it takes a lot to keep an animal like this.
Yeah, so definitely can always make those donations at our website, grandmashousecac.com. Also can mail checks. Any of those donations will kind of go to helping us provide these services like Isadora and other things to kids. Our goal is in the future to kind of have a separate fund that people can donate directly to. Yeah. So that's in the works as well. But yeah, any support from the community that we can have would be greatly appreciated, because it's a full-time job taking care of it. You know, I say that from my role. Laurel's the one that actually has the boots on the ground with that. But yeah, any of that support that we can get, we definitely need and would appreciate very much.
Just for a moment, we got about 4 minutes left for both of you to talk here. But other than Isadora, I always hate to ask this: is how is the your clients? How are they doing? Are you seeing any decreases? I'd love to say decreases, but unfortunately, that's probably not the case.
It's not. You know. And it is kind of herky to talk about. In our line of work, we want to see an increase in the number of people that we see, simply because the abuse we know is happening.
Right.
And if we can see them, we can at least get them help. The ones that we don't see, the ones that are still being abused that we don't see, those are the ones that we worry about. So the numbers we're seeing are going up. That's, you know, positive in this respect that we can get them that help. But I think that, you know, as things like Isadora come along, it just helps us get our message out. And, you know, child abuse does not thrive in the light, and that's where we want to get it. We want this to be a subject we can talk about. It's uncomfortable, but it's much more uncomfortable to let it go silent. So anything that we can do to raise that awareness, we're ultimately going to be lowering the number of times this is happening to kids.
Yeah, and that's really the key for you guys, is awareness. You know, and I'll say this to the viewing audience: if anyone knows of any abuse to a child, you know, silence is not golden. Silence is the worst thing that can happen. So people need to be aware and alert, and if they think something's abnormal going on, it may not be necessarily in their family, it could be a friend or a family member, another family, whatever. You know, it's okay to tell some people about it and at least take a look at it. You know, don't let it just go.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what's, as you mentioned, Cody, what's helped increase the amount of services that they have to offer there is because people are more aware and people are talking.
Absolutely.
And opening up.
And just so everyone's aware, I mean, anyone can report child abuse. All you need to do is call 844-SAVE-A-CHILD or 800-482-5964. Anybody can make that phone call. And if you need some help as far as what kind of questions they're going to ask and kind of preparing yourself for that, give us a call. We would love to sit down and kind of tell you the process and how it works, and then get you prepared to make that phone call. Yeah. But you're absolutely right. I mean, that's the first step. And if a child's brave enough to come to you, we have to be brave enough to do the right thing by them.
Yeah, and that's the issue. In these individuals in Grandma's house case, silence is not good. So just remember that. We've got a couple minutes. Let's talk about your fundraiser coming up here.
Sure. So it's that time of year again for our Ragball tournament. So July 29th and the 30th this year, we're going to have our 4th annual Ragball tournament. Okay. For those of you that don't know, Ragball is just a little bit softer softball. I think is the best way to describe it. So some different rules.
Just a second. Sure. Send the camera there, if you would, if we can see that. But you've got those. I've seen your brochures out there around the area. So
yeah. So it'll be $150 for a team, up to 15 co-ed players. That comes with a shirt and everything like that. So first, second, and third place trophies. We'll have Robin Reeves out there helping us with concessions, and we're going to cap it at 32 teams this year. Last year was the biggest on record, and we're looking to break that record again.
So about 30. How do they sign up? How is the best way?
Go to grandmashousecac.com. There's a tab that says Ragball sign up. You can click over there and pay through PayPal, or you can look on our Facebook page for a sign up link there as well.
Either way, so.
Absolutely.
And obviously, all the money they raise goes to a great cause. It goes to Grandma's house. Cody, Laurel, thank you so much. Isadora, don't get up for me. We do appreciate you both coming in today, and what a wonderful addition to Grandma's house. And I'm sure it's going to make a big difference in the children that you have come in there. And so we appreciate it. Keep us posted. As always, great to have you both here. We've always been a big supporter of Grandma's house. We want you to be a supporter of it too. Thanks for joining us on Connection this week. We'll see you again.
Local television worth watching. KTKO Channel 8, Harrison.